Hello everyone and welcome back to Learn to Love DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to make a 3 cubed card, if I'm saying that correctly. And it basically folds flat. I made mine so that I was able to make it using an 8.5 by 11 sheet. However, you could make it just slightly bigger if you wanted to use your 8.5 by 11s, but you would use more than one sheet. So what I did here is I created mine to be 4 by 4. I fold, and it fits in a 4 by 4 envelope, and it folds out like this, and I'll show you slightly elevated here. Hopefully you're able to appreciate that, and I'll include some pictures in the beginning and the end of the video so you're able to appreciate that a little more. And in order to create this cute card here, or the pop-up cubed card, I used the Hollows Night Magic. I used the spiders here, as well as There Is Magic in This Night. And then I used the Halloween Magic dies, which comes with the bundle when you ordered it with a bundle. And I'm going to show you how to make that card today. Alright, so as promised, I'm going to show you everything you'll need. So I have my Whisper White, the 8.5 by 11 sheet. Now you won't use it all, and I'll show you how to score and cut it. You'll use a couple of the spiders. I used all of my spiders are the large spider, but you can choose to use the smaller ones if you wish. And I have 2 in Smoky Slate, as well as 2 in the Blackberry Bliss to match my card. And then you're going to need a few squares to fill up your card. I've already matted these with the DSP that comes with the bundle, or the suite, I should say. You're going to need 8 of these, and then 4 of just the regular black. So in total, you'll need 12 pieces of the basic black. And these are cut at 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and that's the basic black. You'll need 12, and then for the DSP, you're going to mount on 8 of those pieces. You're going to need 8 pieces of the DSP of your choice that measure 1.5 by 1.5, and I've already mounted those 8. Okay, and because I just try to shorten the video so you can kind of see the gist of how to build the card. And on another piece, I used the sentiment, There Is Magic in This Night. Now, if you want measurements for this one, let me look real quick. The basic black piece measures 1.5 by 1 2/16, and the Whisper White measures 1 5/16 by 1. So you could change up the measurements there to fit your needs. And then you'll need 2 pieces of scrap. This is just, I believe, 1/2 inch that I've cut into half, and you'll be using this to as a mechanism to hold up the sign that goes in the center of your cube box. Okay, so I'm going to set most of these pieces aside since we won't be using them right away, and I'm going to show you how to cut and score that Whisper White piece. Try not to damage my spiders while I get them out of the way here. So you'll need your paper trimmer. And what I'm going to do now, if you were going to do, say, a ton of these to give out, or just because you wanted to make different kinds or different versions, you could score the whole thing the way that I'm going to score it now, or you could cut it. Originally, I scored it because the leftover piece I used, or I will be using for a different card. But if you didn't want to waste this portion and use that for your stamping of your sentiment and spiders, you can. So in order to maximize our paper here, we're going to go ahead and do it in the best way possible. We're going to go ahead and take our 8.5 by 11 Whisper White piece, and we're going to cut it on the 11 inch side at 8. Okay, and we're going to cut that. So you'll have this left over for your sentiment, for your spiders, and any other things that you would like to add, okay, or just for another project. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead And since we have it on the 8-inch side, we're going to go ahead and flip it. And you'll see here, I'll put it against the measurements here. It's 8.5. So on the 8.5 side, you're going to go ahead and score. Okay. You're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And remember, the lighter of the blaze is the one that scores. So at 2, 4, 6, and finally 8. Okay. All right. So far, this is what you have. So 2, 4, 6, and 8. So you'll have this 1/2-inch side, and that's very important to leave that alone. You're going to go ahead and use this to adhere your pieces together. Okay. Now we're going to flip it back to the 8-inch side. So as you can see here, 8 inches. 8 inches. And we're going to go ahead and cut this at 2, and 4. Okay. Because remember, the cube that we are making is 4x4, so our small cubes that are attached are 2x2. Okay, so we're going to cut it again. Well, basically, you're cutting at 2 and 4, but essentially you're cutting at 2 twice, if that makes any sense. So at 2 again, so you get 2 of the same ones. Okay, and then you'll have this piece here. Okay, and that's all the cutting and all the scoring you'll need to do. So we'll put this away, and I'm going to bring these in back. We're going to go ahead and, with our bone folder, burnish all our score lines. Alright, so I've burnished all of my pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting them together using these tabs here. And I will take out my double-sided tape. Feel free to use your, well, your preference of adhesives, that is. I'm going to use the double-sided tape for the edges here just so that it's secured on quickly, and then I'll use my Tombow for the rest. Alright, now that I went ahead and applied all my double-sided tape, I'm just going to go ahead and take them off. Okay, I'm not going to adhere that yet. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the base. What's going to be holding my 2 cubes together first, and then we can assemble the rest. And as you see here, I added just a tiny bit extra just to make sure that I'm securing my box as much as possible. I'm just folding this out. Okay. So this is the back part. And then we're going to go ahead and do these guys. Okay. So there's one. And now for the third. Okay. So figuring out which is our back, which is this right here, you can either have it in the back this way or in the back this way. I'm going to do this way. I'm going to put my cube flat down, and I'm going to adhere one of the cubes here, making sure that I'm using the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and secure it this way. So I'm going to apply adhesive here, and this will be our back. And again, I'm using Tombow. Feel free to use double-sided tape for this or any other adhesive of your choice. And okay, so let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and line it up. Okay. So there you have a portion. And we're going to do the same for the sky. Okay, and this one we're going to attach it on this side here. So again, laying it flat. So here is what you would call the skeleton of our card. And by adding all the mats and the DSP, we're going to create a little bit of weight for that to flat down. And if it doesn't still do it for you, all you have to do is just bend it a couple of times to try to make sure that that touches on the floor there. So let's see. Okay, so our mats are for the inside here. 4 of the pieces are going to go here, 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 and here. But before we go ahead and attach these, we're going to attach our mechanism that's going to hold up our sentiment. And then on 4 of these guys, I'm going to be applying these spiders. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the mechanism. It'll be fairly simple. All you're doing is folding it in half. Okay, so like this, and you're gonna adhere these to the sides there, like this, creating a cute little barrier there for our sentiment. And just making sure that these are not too long. I'm gonna go ahead and just dry fit it a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trim them a little bit. Okay, just to make sure that my sentiment will be covered. And these are just a rough estimate of the size of the sentiment that you have. So just depending on how long or how thin your sentiment is, you can cut these accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and apply some adhesive. And you know what? I'm going to use these guys are so slippery, my double-sided tape. So it'll be just a tad bit faster. Whenever you have excess like this, I just fold it up. And then all I'm going to do is, because I want mine in the center, I'm going to try to do the center of the center. And then just try to stick it down. And the same for this guy. Sorry, I forgot to fold the excess there. I hope I'm not off frame. So as you can see here, I laid that down, pressing down. You have this cute little mechanism here, and this, once you apply a little bit of adhesive, will hold up your, your sentiment. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and mat the inside, and I'll fast forward this portion. I'm just matting the inside with the basic black squares. Oh, and before I fast forward, I'm just going to let you know, by doing the matting on the inside, you kind of cover up the groove here from when you adhere the cube, as well as the mechanism. So you'll have a little bit of coverage there, and it won't be as visible. Okay, now I applied adhesive here on the center, and I'm going to go ahead and take my sentiment and try to place it down. Okay. I think sorry, I think I just moved the camera with everything, with my head just trying to look down. So I'm just going to press it down now that I have it kind of where I want it. So the Tombow takes, and there you have your sentiment. Okay. So now all there is left is we're going to go ahead and adhere these spiders to 4 of the cubes here, or the little squares, and then we can finish off our card. I'm actually now. So we're going to do the back with one of these that are matted. Now if you didn't want to mat this, you could just leave them black, the basic black, but I wanted a little bit of additional color for mine. Okay, and that's the back there, and we're going to do 2 for the 2 corners there that are peeking, or 2 sides of our larger cube that peek out when you extend your card. And again, I'm just trying to center these and just give them a little bit of white all around, but that is still showing for our card. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to flatten it out and just kind of press. Now for this, you will have to create a 4x4 envelope that's easily made with a Whisper White piece, or maybe with the basic black piece, just depending on what you like. So see, the added weight helps make sure that your flaps go down when you unfold it. But as you can see, it's quite easy to make. It doesn't take too long, even though it looks complex. And it's actually very fun to give out and be able to stand either on your desk, on your table, on your mantle, etc. So I'll include some pictures. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for joining me today. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and check out all the different links that I put in the description box. If you have any questions about ordering any of the products, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you today. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a great one.